Welcome to Fake It Till You Make It and Then What? This is a conversation about being a mom, a wife, an author, and my journey through life. Hello, welcome to episode 1. My name is Ty, and I am a mom, a wife, and an author. And I'm here to share different parts of my story. So let me talk about the name. Fake it till you make it, and then what? One time, my husband and I were riding in the car, and I said to him, we people spend all this time, faking it till you make it. And then when you make it, what are you supposed to do? What happens when you get there? What does that look like? That's where the idea came from. It was a conversation. And so my conversations here are about the then what. So realizing that all this time, I or someone else might have been faking it to make it, or creating this version of myself. And now that I've made it to that goal or that dream or that achievement, well, now what do I do? So I think it's time to start getting real honest. This is going to be a place for honest conversation, community, and creativity. I hope that when you listen, it brings you some laughter, it brings you some information, and it brings you some peace. I think about social media, and you see the highs of people's lives. You see the exciting moments. And sometimes you can get discouraged because you're looking and you're like, man, I want to do that, or I wish I could do that, or I want to be there. And it can be discouraging. But, and I'm sure you might have heard this, don't compare yourself with other people's social media posts. Because number one, everyone is on a different journey. So you might just be in a different space in your life. There are things that you learn from every part of your journey. And so part of what I want my conversations to be is, how can you not be there yet, but still be content? My conversations will be about the imperfections and the triumphs. How do you keep smiling and you feel like you've been working so hard and so long and you're just not there yet? I mean, there's still stuff to smile about. So we're going to talk about that here. Who is this community for? Well, let me share a little bit about who I am, and maybe that will help you decide if this is a fit. So I am a girl mom. I have 3 daughters with wide age ranges. I have a 27-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Yes, I'm pausing on purpose so you can say your comments. Oh my gosh, what were you thinking? I've heard it all. We're good. Moving on. I'm a wife. I am 6 years into my second marriage. I have a blended family, and I have a biracial husband. I am an entrepreneur. My first business was sewing dance garments and flags. I did that for 10 years. And now for the last 3 years, in addition to my full-time job, I have been writing children's books and journals to empower girls and kids and teens on their emotional intelligence journey. So I'll be talking about mom things, wife things, entrepreneur things. I'll share the podcasts that I'm listening to. I'll share the books that I'm reading, the audiobooks that I'm reading, information. And there will be conversations with people who are also on this life journey. I'll be talking about what I learn and how I fail, but most of all, how I stay encouraged and keep working towards my goals. I am a Christian, so you will get some spiritual and some faith talk. This is not a Christian podcast, but I will mention Jesus. So if that's not your thing, don't send me hateful messages. Just listen. Maybe you'll find something that you like, take what you like, and leave the rest. And on the other side, if I don't pray just the way that you do, don't send me no messages. And I'll be talking about things that I like, but maybe I'm not hearing anywhere else. Okay, so I've got one word, or depending on where you look it up, it could be two words: color guard. All right, so if you are part of the HBCU culture, you may or may not think highly of color guard, but from where I come from, color guard is amazing. So 30 years ago, 93, 94, 30 years ago, I was in high school and I was part of the marching band, and I tried out for color guard and I made it. I didn't really know much about it other than I saw these young ladies with flags at the back of the field while we were at the front of the field doing drill. And it was just really cool. And so I tried out and I made it and I loved it. Then I graduated high school and I was looking for something to do. And there's not, if you're not performing with DCI or some type of organization, there's not really a space to keep doing color guard. So while I was taking classes at college, I took dance, I did tap, and I did jazz, and I did ballet, and I did modern. And, it was good. And then some years later, I joined a dance team at my church. I was on a praise dance team, a very strong, a very good praise dance team. A lot of our routines and choreography were like jazz, had a jazz background or even a cheer background because the dance director was a cheerleader when she was in school. And so we did patterns and we did special productions. We told Bible stories. It was incredible. And I sewed dance garments. But anyways, I had the opportunity while being a part of this team to introduce my style of flags. So we used 5-foot poles with flags, and we did swing flags, and developed a really strong flag team. And then my oldest daughter joined color guard, and I started to volunteer for her third year, and I assisted with sewing flags. I ended up sewing an entire garments for one of the seasons. But you know how when you hear someone say, what is that thing that you would do for free? What is that thing that makes you feel like you have purpose? Color guard is that for me. Color guard is that for me. And I didn't know it until I came back to it. And 9 years later, my middle daughter also joined color guard. And I remember telling her, you don't have to do this. If you don't want to, you don't have to do this for me. She was like, I want to do it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, then do it. Great. And I got the chance to be a part of an incredible few years, really strong marching program. But color guard in general is that thing that makes my heart pound when, even as a chaperone, walking on the field with these incredible musicians and talented performers, I absolutely love it. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, what performances I'm seeing, what the costumes are looking like. I'm going to talk about it because that's just my thing. So, so that is a little bit about who I am and what you're going to hear in this space. So I would love to hear from you if you listen to this podcast and you're like, oh, I want to be her podcast friendie. I just made that up. I want to create something that people say. So yeah, if you want to be my podcast friend, you can connect with me. Send me an email. Connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on Instagram, send me a thumbs up. Let me know if you like this, if this brings a little joy to your day, if this brings a smile to your afternoon. If you want to write something and have me read it and share it. If you want me to read something and give you some encouragement, I would love to be a part of your encouragement journey. And the way you can connect with me is tyayersallen@gmail.com, and on Facebook and Instagram, Ty Ayers Allen. That's TYAYERSALLEN. So I want to hear from you. I want to know what's going on in your life. How are you navigating being a mom, being a wife, and being a business person? So each episode, I want to do something kind of cool and kind of fun. And so I'm going to ask the question either to myself or to my guest. And that question is going to be, what is your favorite ... So for myself, I'm going to ask, what's your favorite color and why? My favorite color is yellow because it makes me think of happiness and sunshine. It just makes me feel good. And something else that I want to bring up each episode is a goal. So a goal that I have each day, it's kind of an unspoken. I don't say, oh, this is my goal for the day. I just do it. So maybe it's kind of a core value that I have. But each day, my goal is to leave something better than how I found it. So if that's my husband, by encouraging him, my girls, by loving on them, my workspace, by organizing it, my thoughts, by journaling or putting my thoughts down on paper, or navigating what am I feeling and why, or my car, just taking the trash out and leaving it cleaner. I want to leave something better than I found it each day. And I'm going to say this statement, and I can't take credit for it. I heard Rachel Hollis say this maybe a year or two ago. I started listening to her podcasts, and they've been super helpful to me. But one of the things that she said is, you have to look out for your future self. And I absolutely agree with that. I am learning to prepare to make things better for my future self. So when I think about my finances, how am I budgeting? How am I spending? Well, how is it going to affect me in a month? How is it going to affect me in a year? How is it going to affect me in 5 years? I have to look out for my future self. Do I feel like exercising? No. But do I want to be healthy? Do I want to have energy to enjoy my kids, enjoy my family, vacation, travel? Then that means I have to exercise. I have to eat healthy. I have to drink water. Look out for your future self. Well, that is it for now. Thank you for listening in to this first episode. I'm so glad you joined. I'm so glad you made it to the end. Again, if you want to connect with me, Ty Ayers Allen, I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, and I wish you well.